There he is. We got him. Nathan, can you hear me? Nathan, can you hear me, buddy? Do you have any... Hello? I know he can't hear me, but... Nathan, can you hear me? Let me jump into Zoom. Hey, Nathan, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Are you able to hear me, Ryan?
I can't hear you.
You cannot?
No. Do you have any AirPods?
Yeah, I got them in. Hold on, let me disconnect them. Are you able to hear me now? It's picking up that my audio is coming through.
I cannot hear you at all. Oh, I hear something. I hear something.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yep, I got you.
Perfect. All
All
right.
right, we're good.
Are we already on? We good to go?
Yeah, I've been just kind of sitting here trying to buy some time and talk about sports, weather, my sickness I got, your little vacation coming up. So I've been trying to buy the time, but I think we're good to rock and roll. Where are you at right now? So you said you're in Swamico? Oh. So you said you're in Swamico right now?
Yeah, I'm here at the boat launch in Swamico, and I was able to, talk to somebody as I was walking over here. Actually, he said they were drilling about 10 inches of ice,
Wow.
and I do have some other ice reports. Are we all ready to go for those, Ryan?
Yeah, so I didn't put your graphic together unfortunately this morning,
Oh, that's
but
all good.
I think I was just on mute. So I'll mention before you talk about your ice reports is I've been sitting here for the last like 8 minutes talking about weather, sports.
Okay, is this live right now or?
Oh yeah, we're live, baby. We're
Good,
live.
perfect. That's what I like to hear.
But I was just sitting here talking about weather, sports, what was going on this weekend. I was sick. You're trying to stay away from the sickness in the office, so
I'm avoiding it to the best of my ability.
yeah, you're trying your hardest, but overall we're doing all right. It's good to be back in the office, and you'll go through our bracket picks tomorrow, correct? Because you're filling
Yep.
it for me.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll come through and go through our bracket and whatnot. We know who I'm picking for the Packers-Bears game. We don't need to get into
100%.
that, but we know who I'm going with.
And you know who I'm going with for that Patriots and Chargers game on Sunday night. So
Without a doubt.
yeah, without a doubt. All right. So Nathan, like you mentioned, is in Swamico right now, and you really wanted to jump on here this afternoon to talk about some ice reports across Northeast Wisconsin because recently we had a pretty good ice, and then we also started to lose it, especially in the Fox River when we thawed out around Christmas. And now we've kind of gotten that back. So what are some of those reports that you're seeing out there on some area lakes and some area ponds that are, getting ready for some ice fishing?
Yeah, so I grab a lot of those numbers from Lake Link, which is actually inputted by other fishermen and locals who go and say what they're seeing, and then it takes that number and provides it. And I also am a part of a bunch of different Facebook groups where I was able to find some in there as well to verify, because people actually post pictures of what they're measuring there. Now here on Green Bay, now again, this isn't the ice thickness across the entire lake, but in the bays and whatnot, we're seeing around 10 inches is what I've been told, and also what I found online. Now we go to Lake Nockabee, that's farther up north, that's near Crivets. That's around 2.5 inches, and that's because that lake is so deep. But going towards some of the popular ones like Shawano Lake, that's at 14 inches. We have Lake Winnebago at 12 inches, and then Puckaway Lake is at 11. So this ice really is starting to build, and people have grown pretty confident in it too, because it's kind of hard to see here, but we do have a lot of the snowmobile tracks as well as the four-wheeler tracks moving up and down here. So
Yeah,
it's
I see one
definitely
right behind you. Actually, if you stick to your left, yeah, I can see one right behind your left shoulder there. I can see some tracks. Is those trucks or are those snowmobiles?
Those are snowmobiles. There's no one who's drove by in the past couple minutes now, but there's plenty of trucks and whatnot here with their trailers, a lot of snowmobile trailers and whatnot. So people are feeling pretty confident at this point about bringing their machines out here.
And where exactly? Do you know what lake you're on right now? Because you said you're in Swamico. So do you know exactly what lake you're on? Or
Yep. So this is let's see, the Swamico boat launch. It's
okay.
So it's right in it's one of the little bays or inlets of Green Bay.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned a lot of these reports of 12 inches, 14 inches. And one question that I kind of thought about is, um, how we look at, like, does the lakes and ponds and rivers, do they react very quickly to temperature changes? Like, we're going to be in the mid to upper 30s over the next few days, then we kind of cool back down. Is that going to really impact the ice thickness, or does it have to be a pretty prolonged stretch for us to lose a few inches of ice thickness?
Yeah, it really all depends on your base ice and how it starts off at the
Yep.
beginning of the year. Because when it starts to warm up and then cool down, warm up, cool down, we get white, cloudy ice, which isn't strong ice at all. And if you get like a long, prolonged, really good cold snap, which we had seen at the start of December, that's exactly what you like to see. That ice is pretty much clear, and you'll continue building stronger ice on top of that. That is a lot harder to melt, and you would need a very long stretch of warmer days. So going into those mid to upper 30s for a few days or a week isn't going to affect it too much as long as you're seeing that clear, hard black ice.
Yeah, because that's some kind of my next question is, it really, you can tell how good the ice is based on the its clarity, right? If it's clear
Yes.
black ice, then it's very safe. And if you start to get some of that milky white, that means it's not as strong, and it's kind of been, what's kind of the terminology when it starts to get milky white? What's happening in that process, if you
Yeah,
know
so
about
that
that?
ice is more cloudy because you see a lot of air bubbles and it's just not solid. It's
Yep.
kind of just, that thick, dense ice that has no air pockets in it. That's where you're seeing that strong, clear ice. And that's what's going to really support the most amount of weight versus that cloudy stuff. It's filled with a whole bunch of air pockets. I mean, it's kind of like standing on a brick versus a sponge. One's
Yep.
going to have a whole bunch of air bubbles in it, one doesn't. Not the best analogy, but it's a similar one where one's going to be a lot more tightly packed.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're about 15 minutes in right now. So I'm going to take a break, and then we'll come back. And do you want to stick around to do a little regional weather update? I know you haven't been in the office for the last, you were off this weekend, since we had to give you some time off after working from my through my sickness. So I know you haven't kind of been, have you been keeping up with the forecast recently about for
Yeah, I've
tomorrow?
been keeping up with it, watching the ice and whatnot.
Got it. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back, and if you want to stick around for the regional weather update, and then we'll go through that, and then we'll take another break, and then we'll go into that slideshow. So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back, and Nathan and I will break down that forecast with Nathan on the ice and me in the office. So stay tuned. Storm Team 5 Plus will be right back after this break. All right, welcome back to Storm Team 5 Plus. I'm meteorologist Ryan Kudish, and yes, you're seeing him virtually. That is Nathan Himsel, my partner in crime. It's been a little sad not doing a show with Nathan recently. I know we kind of missed out on our last day of our WFRV fantasy football pick'ems, thanks to me getting sick. It's just the holidays. It's kind of how it goes. But so we had a system move through this last evening into the overnight hours, and it was a bit of a tricky one. It looked like it was going to be a really good snow event here in Northeast Wisconsin, and then kind of took a turn for the worse. So, Nathan, I'm looking at snowfall reports from last night, and we had about 3.2 in Athelstane and Ephraim. Egg Harbor got 3 inches in northern Door County, and then we got a few 1 to 3 inch reports from about Marinette over to Claybanks, Peshtigo, Mountain, Townsend. I think where you're at in Swamico, I think you're about a half inch of new snow. Is there any way you can kind of look around and see if there's any area that hasn't got cleared
Yeah,
yet?
so I
Or
mean, if I were to stick a pen into it, I mean, that's measure guide, but I mean, we go to is a regular ballpoint pen. I mean, we're close to an inch here in
oh wow,
Swamico, maybe a
okay,
little bit
yeah,
more.
because I know like around the Green Bay area, we had some sleet and freezing rain, and then a little bit of snow as well. So I think as you headed up past Highway 29, then started to change over to all snow. So that was a bit of an interesting one, and we have another system on the way in for tonight. So let's go right through into our graphics. Live look into Green Bay, 32 degrees, and how are the roads when you're out and about? Everything down to pavement?
Yeah, everything was down to pavement. I drove from Howard over to Swamico here, and there was no issues. I didn't see any ice spots, nothing of that sort.
Just a little wet on the roadways from a lot of that melting.
Yeah. I mean, they're a little wet, but a concern for that is it freezing as temperatures do start to drop. But I mean, they're
Yep.
looking fairly dry for the most part.
Yeah, and I guess we're seeing temperatures right now. and we're in the low to mid 30s, so we're at or above freezing for much of the area. So that's really helping the crews this morning try to get a lot of that stuff off the roadways. Now the only concern is as we cool down tonight, like Nathan mentioned, we're looking at some refreezing on top of that system that's moving in tonight. Looking at the road conditions map, we are looking really good across the area. A lot of green, just a few spots along the Wisconsin UP border and northern Door County looked like they have a few spots that are reporting some slippery conditions. But more often than not, we're looking pretty good out there. Skies are fairly clear. Nathan, are you seeing any sunshine? Is that sunshine and filtered like mid and high level clouds right now?
Yeah, that seems about right. I mean, there's the sunshine is coming through, but it seems to be kind of a thinner layer of clouds, so we're still feeling that sunshine. So it's a little hazy out, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, it looks like it's mid and high level clouds, and I think we'll start to see those clouds thicken up throughout the afternoon. But good to see a little bit of sunshine back. So temperatures right now are pretty much where they're at for their highs today. I don't see us changing very much. Kind of steady temperatures, as Jordan talked about this morning on the air. Calling for more clouds and sunshine for the rest of our afternoon, though. Highs will top out in the low to mid 30s. All right, here's what we're expecting for this next system. It'll move in tonight, sometime around 8 or 9 p.m., and it will linger through about mid-afternoon tomorrow. I have it stopping at noon. I think that's when the freezing rain threat comes to an end. It will likely see a few scattered showers, rain showers, that is, through the end of our school and work day on Tuesday. But we'll have rain, icy rain, and sleet moving this evening. This one is not a snow issue, Nathan. This one's going to be more of an icy mix of rain and freezing rain. We just have that perfect temperature profile where it'll be below freezing at the surface, and then a nose of some warm air just a few thousand feet above. And that is just a recipe for not so fun travel when you get freezing rain because you're essentially driving on ice that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, it's not far off from that. Now, luckily, I do have to travel Wednesday morning to get down to Milwaukee
Yeah.
to the airport, so I'm hoping that things have cleared up a little bit by then.
Yeah, I think what's going to help is that this is only going to be a really morning issue. So I think the afternoon, the crews will really get out there, and then the drive should be good for your Wednesday commute down to MKE. But looking at the ice forecast, we're looking at a glaze up to as high as 0.2 of an inch, and that is just enough to create some slick and slippery travel for your Tuesday morning. Breaking down futurecast, notice 8 or 9 o'clock, a thin band of some rain and freezing rain will start to impact the area. What's going to happen overnight is this will kind of expand in coverage, especially for the Fox Valley. So here's 7 o'clock, getting ready to go out to school or work, looking at some areas of freezing rain and some plain old rain as well. So likely some spots like sidewalks, parking lots, definitely could get pretty icy, as those ones aren't usually as treated as well as some roadways. But certainly some other like side streets could get a little slippery tomorrow morning. Notice here's 10 o'clock going through the noon hour. I think it changes over to mainly rain, and we'll likely see a few scattered showers through the 4 or 5 o'clock hour. Here's our ice accumulation forecast, and most will see about a glaze up to 1/10 of an inch, but modeling has been very consistent on bringing in a chance for up to 2/10 of an inch of ice from about Green Bay into the Fox Valley, or into Outagamie County and out into western Wisconsin and central Wisconsin out towards Wausau. So that's where we have the potential for 2/10 of an inch of some ice. Now, we kind of talked about it in our weather chat with Jordan and Luke and Nathan this morning, is that winter weather advisory is out for areas north and west of the Fox Valley. I did speak with the Weather Service, though, just a few hours ago, and they said that they are likely to expand this into the Fox Valley and potentially to the lakeshore as well. So we'll see what happens. And I think it's just Nathan. It's kind of a confidence thing where they, first saw the trends of, okay, this might be north of the valley. And now some of the morning model runs are bringing some of those higher ice totals into the Fox Valley. So we'll see if in their 4 o'clock update that they do opt to bring that into the Fox Valley. It sounds like they will, which is pretty fair because some of those thoroughfares like 45, 41, 43, portions of Highway 10 could get a little icy tomorrow morning. So it makes sense why, we wanted to, they will probably bring that into the Fox Valley.
Yeah, it would make sense. Like everything you really just said. I mean, it's kind of a precautionary thing that they'll kind of model and see where they're looking at, but I wouldn't be shocked to see it expand.
Yeah. And that will run from 9 p.m. this evening through noon on Tuesday. Looking at those weather headlines. So another icy mix tonight. Slippery travel likely Tuesday morning. Mild temperatures. They stay put this week. It's It feels pretty nice out there right now, right, Nathan? It's not too warm, not too cold. I know you
It's
have your jacket on,
beautiful
but
right now. As someone who does like to ice fish, you can't ask for a much better day to be outside in the winter here. No, really no breeze at all. Maybe it's a very light one out here in Suamico.
yep.
That sunshine kind of warms you up a little bit, and it's just really not too cold today.
Yeah, you really can't ask for much more. So, forecast highs tomorrow, mid-range of the 30s. That is a classic freezing rain and sleet type of temperature this time of year. As you head into Wednesday, though, cloudy areas of fog will likely start to melt some of that snow and some ice on the roadways. So that means temperatures will respond and top out in the mid 30s, and then the big concern is we're melting snow, so that puts a lot of low level moisture into the atmosphere. Looking at our temperature trend going over the next 10 days, we could actually get close to 40 degrees on Thursday as we get a push of some warm air from the south. 36 for Friday, then we cool back down to reality for the weekend into the early part of next week. And I didn't get to mention it too much at noon, but we do have an active pattern on the way in this week. We talked about Monday night into Tuesday. The next system we're watching, we might get clipped by some light rain turning over to some light snow late Thursday night into early Friday morning. Oh, there goes someone on their snowmobiles. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's those snowmobiles I was talking about.
Would you ever get one?
I have a snowmobile back in New York. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, they're a
They
lot of
look
fun.
they look pretty cool to zip around on the lakes and some of the trails, but you really got to hope that you get a lot of snow. And thankfully, we've got a lot of snow this
Right.
early season. We're
Well, that's it. You
running.
really need powder in order to make them worth having, which has been a struggle in a lot of areas recently.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and if for people that do like the snow, we have a third chance of some precipitation this week, and we're kind of zeroing in on Friday night, but more so going into Saturday. Another system will track up from our south, and when we evaluate storms this time of year, we want to see them go right through Chicago as the favorable track for snow here in Northeast Wisconsin, and it looks like modeling is kind of indicating that that will be the case, and that will bring in some accumulating snow in that scenario. We're still fine tuning it. The modeling is kind of wishy washy on it right now. It's still 5, 6 days away, so we have some time. But we just want to give you a little update on that part. But at least we know that there is an impactful system on the way in for tonight. So looking at that forecast for today, more clouds and sun, mild, high of 32. And then for tonight, we're looking at that rain and freezing rain event after 9 o'clock. We also could have some patchy fog as well, so that could add into the mix as well and bring in some more slippery conditions as lows fall below freezing. 7-day wintry mix on Tuesday, 36. Cloudy with some patchy fog on Wednesday, 35. 38 on Thursday, some rain at night. Snow or a mix on Friday night, leading into a snowy and windy day on Saturday. So, Nathan, we're really kind of hoping that travel is not impacted from, for the Packers players heading down to Chicago. I think they head out on Friday, so that should be good. But, a lot of people here might be driving down to Chicago on Saturday. So we will definitely start providing updates on this one probably around, say, Thursday, just because we want to make sure that, people that are heading down to the game, that's a big game. We want to make sure that people can get from point A to point B in a safe manner. So we'll certainly start bringing some updates later this week while you are vacationing in a very warm location, right?
Yeah, I kind of timed out Florida perfectly because I'm there for
Yeah.
a few days before the cruise, and you see that ridge really start to build where it's going to warm up for a solid 3, 4 days, and that happens to be like the 3 days that I'm in Florida. And then I had put together a vacation cast that's just
Yeah.
auto set to it, but yeah, for my vacation I'm gonna be around the mid 80s, so a little bit different than here.
Wow. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like a 50 or 60 degree difference
Yeah.
from where you're living now to where you're going. But are you excited to go on vacation this is probably your first big extended vacation, right? Or your second?
It's my first big one. I took that mini one where I just kind of went home, but that really
Yeah.
wasn't too much of a vacation. Putting things away still since it was my first trip back since moving out here. But no, this one I had the drink package for the cruise. I'm gonna be drinking drinking a few tropical fruity drinks by the pool most of the time.
Hey, that sounds like a dream there. So we have like 2 minutes left. I think we can kind of fill the rest of the time. I didn't want to take a second break, but I think it's better that we talk rather than commercial talks. But let's talk quickly about that game coming up on Saturday again.
Right.
I know we're gonna talk about it on, or you're gonna talk about it tomorrow when you're in this chair. but kind of give everyone a preview. What's your thoughts on how it's going to turn out? And it's probably the best scenario for the Packers because you want to see rivalry games in the playoffs. Those make it the best.
So yeah, I went back and forth with this. I was really on the train of I'd rather play the Bears. I think we
Yeah.
are much more likely to beat the Bears than the Eagles if we were week one with them,
Yep.
or the first round of the playoffs. And now that I kind of sitting, I'm like, this is nice, but also if we lose to the Bears, it's a lot worse than losing to
Yep.
the Eagles. I'm gonna have to go into hiding for a little bit if that's the case. But I really think the Packers are just. I mean, both times we played the Bears this season, we kind of held them right to it. And the second one where they did beat us was right down to the nickel, and it was just
Yep.
kind of a matter of a fumble for them to come back and win that one. So they've won a lot of games where they come back in like the last 2 minutes, if I remember correctly. So that doesn't work well in the playoffs, I don't think. I think you need a little bit more stability to make that work postseason.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the playoffs this upcoming weekend because I just kind of looked at the slate earlier this weekend, and I really like what I'm seeing. So, Nathan, my friend, thank you for joining us virtually. We got 10 seconds left, so thank you for joining us on this Monday edition of Storm Team 5 Plus. Nathan will be back here bringing an update tomorrow. Stay tuned.